10:45. We have Abby and Oriana from across boundaries. And let's see what the charter writes. Good morning. Come on in. Hi.
I'm
You,
Clark.
hi, how are you? You are?
My name is Robert from Guildwood.
Okay, and you are?
Oriana.
Yeah, and you are Abby. All right, come on in.
Yes.
All right. And do know that we've been recording.
Yeah, we asked you to turn it off.
I will not turn it off because I'm a Canadian citizen running for federal office, and I receive an email from my worker that says that me posting signs for my federal campaign on public property and in front of my residence is jeopardizing my housing. So we would like to
No, I
see
didn't send a letter mentioning that. I just mentioned we are coming to your apartment to discuss some matters pertaining to your housing.
in what sense, like
Yeah,
what
that's what
matters.
we're gonna talk now.
Well, I do not have this time. I'm in a federal election. I just finished a provincial election, and I have another provincial election right after in Whitby offshore, and that's within the next 6 months. So that's three elections in 6 months. I also have three cats. I also have a whole load of laundry, and it takes me 3 hours in the morning for me to stand up after I get up if I sleep over 3 hours. Now, what I need is medical attention. I need to find a doctor, and I need to get the results from this CMH you all took me to 2 years ago. It's been 4 years, and each time you send me to someone, we don't get no results. And now I hardly can walk. I can't even clean my own dishes, and I have to struggle day by day to keep my house clean. So if it's in reference to my housing, we can discuss it because my housing is a matter of public record,
Yeah.
right?
Last time when I met you, I asked about your health concerns. You told me that your health concern is not your priority. Now I'm concerned about the public.
No, I am concerned about all matters equally. I am not going to get up and leave 10 youth who have employment, and I'm not going to get up and leave my political party, and I'm not going to get up and leave all the little children who are asking for things, little things that they need for their home. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm going to take and go to the hospital and wait 6 hours for them to come back and tell me, oh, well, Mr. Clark, we just want to take more blood. We want to take more blood. We want to take more blood. Why? Because 10 years ago you were a drug user, and if we find any type in your system, then we're going to give you less service. The fact of it is, my medical health has not been dealt with by this agency. It has not been a priority. But I have nothing against CODA. In this federal election, I wish to address that issues because, you did find me a home, and I'm able to maintain the home. But if it was not for my associate in Calgary, Sam Colas, I would not have gotten into this home. They would have used the mental health issue to deny me, and that would have happened. If it wasn't for my friend Sam Colas, during the last debate, during the last dispute, okay, they would have taken me to court and they would have, put a slander against me, and you would have let that happen, right? CODA works in both sense. You work with the housing, but you also must work with the client. And every single thing I do is within the law. As you can see, there's no signs on the back. There's no signs in the front. There is signs by the hydro pole, which is the city property, and I'm in communication with the city, and as you can see, the city of Toronto, I have not removed them.
I think those signs that you have posted out front are
Yeah.
on Catherine's property.
And if it's on Capra property, I have rights because this is my campaign office. I am a Canadian citizen. I am campaigning for federal office, and I gave a copy of my registration to the property manager, Siddiqui. I also give a copy of the sign bylaw to the manager, Siddiqui, the first day we registered.
And I'm not familiar with what the bylaws are, but don't you need the tenants or the owner's permission to actually post the sign?
If you are John McKay, if you are Mrs. Castleman, and if you are Mrs. Fogel, you need the owner's permission to post signs, but not if you're Kevin Clarke, because you are a tenant and you are allowed to enjoy the livelihood of the premise whilst you do not encompass or impede the tenant's right of way or their rightful enjoyment of the premise.
So I believe those signs are.
They could not be.
That's why we want to meet with you. So
They could not.
Can we come in?
Yes, but they could not be because my nomination was signed by 1 500 tenants from 4001 Lawrence and 4000 Lawrence. So the issue here is my rights less because I'm on an mental health program? Go ahead.
I said, I don't think your rights, you don't want to focus on your rights.
It is all right. It's all about the Charter of Rights. I'm a Canadian. Yes. It's what?
What we want to focus on is how do we keep you here?
There's no problem in keeping me here. I'm within all my rights.
Can I just finish?
Yes, go ahead.
And then I'll give you what you need to do. All right?
Go ahead.
So we've been asked to meet with you.
Yes.
To talk about the situation in your campaign.
What's the situation in my campaign?
Well, the signs being posted.
Is there any signs that impede anyone here? Take a look. Not one Kevin Clarke sign. And within the law, I could have put a Kevin Clarke sign there. I can put a Kevin Clarke sign on that hill. I can put a Kevin Clarke sign there. I can put a Kevin Clarke sign there. But I decided not to do that because I wish to work with Capretti. Now we notice that they're cleaning up the property early in the morning. But the problem we have is that you go out there and you destroy all my signs in the nighttime. So in the morning you want to call and says, oh, it's a mess. This morning we went out and we put them all back in order, right? Now, we're running a clean campaign. We're running for federal office, and I expect my rights to be respected, and I expect my rights to be enforced by CODA. If there's a problem with the sign, study the Elections Canada Act or study the City of Toronto sign bylaw. I am allowed to put signs up at my campaign office, whilst it does not pose a danger to anyone, whilst it does not encompass the property, and whilst it does not impede the reasonable enjoyment of any tenant. And my signs does not impede.
That's why you may not feel that.
It's not a matter of feeling it. How can one of four candidates putting up his name at his home and his registered campaign office impede any other tenant except for those who says, well, I support the Liberal, Conservative, New Democrat? You have that right. You can put a sign up in support of the Liberal, Conservative, and the New Democrat. There's enough room there for you to do that. But do not tell me that I must give up my rights because you don't want to hear it or don't want to see it.
Why you so are you speaking?
Because I am in the middle of a federal election. I was homeless. I nearly died on the street. I have little children coming to my door every single day asking for things. I have children coming here for freezies every single day after school. I have young youth coming for employment. I have people on disability who are working. I have a homeless memorial I set every single month. I have a children's festival for October 3rd, and I do not have the time to sit down for you to try and tell me that running in a federal election, it will affect my housing because I'm on a mental health program, and if I put my name on the public roadway or on the property where I live and where I campaign from, it affects my housing. Tell me, how can it affect my housing? A Canadian citizen.
Lease condition. You only pay for this process.
I pay for this unit, but under the Landlord and Tenant Act, I have a right to reasonable enjoyment of the premise, and under the Canadian Charter of Rights, I have a right to campaign for public office, and I have a right to put up signs in front of my campaign. Read it. Rather than us go through this, why don't you read it? Okay?
Is this your campaign office?
This is my registered campaign office. ELECTIONCANAD. There is Charter of Rights. Rights guaranteed by the federal government. Those rights are enforced by individuals like me, who is running to enforce that right. Yes.
Mr. Clarke, I've heard you.
Yes.
Okay? Obviously, we're not prepared to actually talk about this.
Well, if you're going to make it...
I'm going to ask that we end this meeting.
Yes.
All right? We've attempted to talk to you.
To tell me that my right...
Please.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Yes.
Okay? We've given you the liberty.
Yes.
So now let me finish.
Yes.
Okay? We've attempted to talk to you about the issues that are in the building.
Yes. What issues are... Okay, let's talk about issues in the building.
No.
What issues do we have in the building?
Mr. Clarke?
You said about this building. Let's talk about issues in this building.
So,
what is the issues in this building? I'm employing the youth. Is that the issue? Is it the issues that I'm teaching the children to love one another? I'm teaching the children to assist each other. I'm teaching them not to be vulgar. Okay, let's hear the issues.
The issues that I want to focus on are the concerns that have been brought forward.
What are the concerns?
The signs posting outside.
I am a federal candidate for member of parliament.
Behavior.
What's my behavior?
We've received concerns from storefront.
What's the concern?
Okay? So these
What's the concern from storefront? What is the concern?
I want to go back to the reasonable enjoyment that you've been talking about.
Yes. So the concern is that the storefront and the owner decided to give me, let's see what it says here. Let's see what this says. This is one of their signs. It says, vote Jimmy Valeris. That was given by the one who directed and run the storefront. Also, I have a receipt in my drawer for a $25 donation from Kevin Clarke to the storefront. And that was accepted by the director of the storefront. And he has offered me more signs. There are different names. And he has also invited me to post my sign on the front of the storefront. So what concerns do we have with the storefront? That they support my campaign?
No, it's not about your campaign.
Then what is it about?
It's about behavior.
What is my behavior? I am feeding the hungry. I am being a friend to the lonely. I am teaching the children. I am teaching the children love. So what is my behavior that is inappropriate? That I'm on a mental health program and I am running for a federal member of parliament, which you do not expect from people you label with mental health issues. That is the only behavior that you could be concerned about. Or tell me, what is the behavior? Is the behavior that I say good morning to everybody when they come out in the morning? Is the behavior that I sing the song, don't grow up to be a fool, children stay in school, don't grow up to be a fool, children stay in school? Is it that I sing that each morning to the kids when they come out going to school? Is my behavior that when a boy comes out of the elevator and I hear them screaming, I go out and the parent says that their balloon, they won't let them take it to school, so I give them a balloon?
Okay.
What is my behavior?
Mr. Clarke, so we're going to end the meeting?
No, but you said it's about my behavior. Define which part of my behavior is not acceptable.
So, you may want to approach the storefront.
Good. In what sense?
Do you have a copy of the letter?
Yes. Give me a copy. I have a printer too, and we can get a copy for myself. I was there on Saturday. Saturday was when I made the contribution, and Saturday was when I got these signs.
I just want to make it very clear.
I can get a copy.
The property manager wants to.
It's not what.
No,
go ahead.
I can tell you. It's very clear.
Yeah.
The property management, the general manager, whoever from the corporate wants you to maintain your apartment.
I have always maintained. Can I get a copy of that?
It's not maintaining your this apartment.
Why? I can't get a copy of the letter from the storefront?
See,
You can
I
ask
tell
the
you.
property management.
But you said you got the letter. You're supposed to be my workers. You're supposed to look out for both.
This is just a copy that was forwarded to us. It wasn't addressed to us. It was addressed to management.
It was addressed to management, and they send it to you, and you are my representative. Would I not be entitled to a copy?
The letter simply says that your behavior of threatening.
Threatening to who? I have little kids coming to my doors, coming here each morning, screaming out and I'm not talking 2 or 3. I'm talking 5, 10, sometimes 15. I do have a large amount of youth who come in and they work 1.5 hours. They end up volunteering half an hour and they work 1 hour. Now, which part of that behavior is not acceptable?
I have just a simple question.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why we are here?
You are here because, as you can see, you had 5 cleaners this morning. But before, they only had 1 cleaner. As a federal candidate, I bring a large attention to the property. And where there has been things that have been neglected, those things will be highlighted from me campaigning from here. The staff is doing an excellent job, but you have a property manager who is up here, and he feels that by Mr. Shorts, who is the owner of Capretti, by him being contacted by Mr. Colas and Mr. Shorts override him. So he was going to discriminate against me because of the mental health issue, and through the program, he was override by the owner of Capretti, which is the second, right? And in turn, Sam Colas spoke to them. So now he feels he feels that he's somebody's above him, right? Because now when people have problems, they come to me first, rather than go to him. Yes.
So, the general manager of Capri told me that Sam Colas cannot save you.
Save me? There's nothing to save me from. Young man.
Save
Every
you from
single
losing your apartment.
how can I lose my apartment? I cannot lose my apartment for being a federal candidate putting signs in front of his campaign office. Have you seen the signs out front?
My service here.
Huh?
I see you as I don't see you as a federal candidate.
We've tried,
Yeah.
so we're gonna end it because we're going around in circles.